Hey, welcome back to Score on Business. And our next guest is Jim Brown, who is the State Director of Tennessee for the National Federation of Independent Businesses. The NFIB promotes the interest of private companies with both state and federal governments. And Jim, thanks for being here.
Pete, thanks for having me on again. Appreciate it.
As you know, I'm a huge fan of the NFIB, and I'm a proud card-carrying member. And the reason I think it's so important for smaller businesses to be a member is, the big companies have all their, folks who are trying to take care of them, but if small businesses don't have time for that, and if they don't do it, then the folks who are at the table, which are big businesses, are like, oh yeah, taxing's really important. You know, those small companies, they're the ones who get it. So I appreciate having someone to be an advocate for us.
Thanks. I don't do what I do unless you're a member.
Yeah.
You're one of 7,000 members in Tennessee and 350,000 across the country, and it's an honor to represent you. I know you're busy and you want someone watching what's going on.
Oh, heck yeah. So. Well, one of the things I love about the services I most appreciate are that you all keep me updated on what's important, and you make it very easy for me to reach out to politicians. When there's something where we need to get out, I'll get an email from you all. If I need to call them, the phone number's there. If I need to email them, I can just about click on something. And we're going to talk about, well, before we get to that, those are some of my favorite services. What are some other things that are popular?
Well, you've hit on advocacy as our bread and butter. So I mean, that's why we're here. That's what I'm doing every day down at the legislature, what our lobbyists and advocates are doing in Washington. So we're a general interest advocacy group. We focus on things that hit all of our members, like retail and manufacturing and all of the service businesses, everybody that's a member, whether they're 3 employees or 300 employees, but all private companies. But it's the issues that hit all of those companies, like taxes, taxation, healthcare, labor law, workers' compensation, unemployment, healthcare, all the things that environmental more frequently in the last few years. Those are things that are hitting a lot of the businesses, and so we've got their back. We're making sure that they're getting the information and then polling them, surveying them, balloting them. And you all reach out to us and say, hey, these are the things that we could work on. What's important to you? And I know you filled out some of those surveys, and that has a huge impact when I go to see a legislator or the governor's staff and say, this is where they are on healthcare reform or gas tax or whatever. And they listen because they know it's been more of a Greek democracy and not someone deciding in a boardroom that's maybe more big donors deciding this is what we need to do. So it's more pure democracy as far as how we engage our members.
Yeah, and that's something that I really appreciate. Let's see. We'll spend a lot of time after the break talking about the roads.
But you did ask what else we do, and so our mission is to promote and protect the rights of our members to own, operate, and grow their businesses. And so everything that we do really we do have a member benefits like an ARP and discounts and that type of thing that helps, really covers your dues, if not more in many instances. But NFIB also has the Small Business Legal Center. We're very active in federal and state courts protecting the interest of small business. We have the Research Foundation, which the Small Business Economic Trends Report comes out monthly. A huge guide for just the sentiment, the data of where small business is, what they're thinking, inventory, hiring, confidence levels. There's an uncertainty index that we've rolled out recently. So those are things that support when we're communicating not just to the legislators but to the broader public that we're the voice of small business. And you can find all that on NFIB.com. So that's just a snapshot of what we do.
Well, and this is one of those, this is my opinions, certainly not the TV stations. In my years as an entrepreneur, I know that government wants us to create jobs, but they are often are doing actions that make it very difficult. And I don't know that it's on purpose, but I like having you all be able to go and help them understand.
A lot of times when you explain a bill to a legislator and you say this is what the consequence has been in other states or could be, and this is why we think that, they go, oh, well, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So a lot of bills die that way, or they go back and figure out another way to do it. So, it's the civics, the civil nature of it is what people don't see. And a lot of times something will come back later in a different form that will work and is more of a compromise. It does happen. I know we don't see that on social media, but it does happen. But a lot of times you got to get in there and fight and take your licks, and we've had to do that a few times and say this is what you're saying, there's data that really counters what you're saying, and this is what it is.
Right.
And then the committees and the members will decide. So, but you're really a bearer of information, and your integrity is everything. And you've got to treat everyone the same and fairly. That's what our business is.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, hey, we're going to take a break. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be right back.